this is the damage of my striker build, which I usually use most of the time. I'm pretty sure you guys also use it like this as well. Now, this is the damage of the build that I'm about to show you in this video. Now, this is not as high as striker. I doubt anything is as high as striker nowadays. However, it is up there. It's keeping up. Although I would say this is more like a support build. It's not really a DPS build. It's a support build, I will call it, because we are actually increasing our group members' damage by a lot. Like, seriously, a lot. Now, if you haven't guessed it already, which build it is, well, it is Ongoing Directive, and we are using LMG with it. You know, it works really well together, to be honest. Like, it's a match made in heaven kind of situation happening here. Now, I do have a bunch of variants that I want to show you, like solo and group. So if you want to check that out, you can do that. There's timestamps given, so you can jump here and there. There's a damage showcase at the end of the video as well. Like I said, you can jump there. Timestamps are given. Now, let me just show you what this build can actually do, right? All right, so this is the build over here right now, as you can see. Now, this is actually the first variant I'm going to say, because this is mostly I use it on a group. I will talk about the variant that you would use when solo. And I'm telling you, man, it's really awesome, especially in solo. I was absolutely loving it. I'm using with 5 directives, by the way, if you haven't noticed it, for solo. It works. It works really well. So gunner specialization is the specialization for this build right now I'm choosing because of the 10% armor on kill. And also, you know, the weapon handling there, which is nice. Plus, you know, the third reload is faster. And it's overall really good. Now, you can also use the survival specialization if you're helping your groups, you know, supporting them to give them extra 10% of damage to target out of cover on status effect targets, which you are going to be doing pretty much all the times, right? So that's why. Now, for the weapon, well, obviously, if you haven't guessed it already, it's the Iron Lung LMG. I literally just got this weapon like a few days ago. I mean, on my previous build video, you probably seen it that I was picking up from an NPC. It's just a random NPC. It wasn't even a boss. It just dropped there. So yeah, I have this LMG. It's an amazing LMG. The talent is really good. In my opinion, this talent is actually better than St. Elmo's talent, because St. Elmo's engine gives you the shock ammo, but it requires 100 stacks. You need to fire 100 bullets to build it up. Where this weapon, you can have the fire ammo pretty much in every magazine if you want. All you have to do is fire the weapon and build up that heat meter, and boom, you have fire ammo. And the moment you have fire ammo, guess what? You get hollow point ammo from Ongoing Directive. That's how easy it is to get hollow point ammo from this weapon. It's just like made for each other, you know? This is an amazing LMG. Because you also get some crit damage here, like 20%, so nice. Not crit chance, so that's why we're going to be putting a lot of crit chance on the build to kind of balance that out. Otherwise, yeah, we have crit damage here. So yeah, it's a pretty good LMG. Give it a try if you haven't already. It's an amazing LMG. Now, for the second weapon, I have the Grudge SMG here. Mainly because if I get pushed by some enemies, I can easily shred them with the SMG. It's an amazing SMG. It's a 950 RPM SMG, by the way. Very high total damage there, and gives you the perfect vindictive talent, which whenever you kill a status effect enemy, you give your group members and yourself 18% of crit chance and 18% of crit damage for 20 seconds. And the cool thing about this talent is you can actually swap the weapon and still have the damage. Still the talent will be active, which is awesome. So if someone is rushing me, I can shred them with this and give my group some support there at the same time. So pretty good. Now, as for the gears, well, if you are a new player, you don't know what Ongoing Directive does. Well, it gives you 15% of status effect, which is nice. You know, your fire and your bleed status effect will have a little longer duration. And obviously, longer duration means more tick damage. More tick damage is overall more damage, right? So that's nice. We also get the 30% reload for 3-piece. That's also helpful for LMGs to reload quickly. And then we have the 4-piece that gives us the Rules of Engagement talent, where we get the hollow point ammo. So all you have to do is just kill a status effect enemy. That's it. And you get the hollow point ammo. You mark them, like a red marker on top of their head. You can take them down and you have hollow point ammo. And that's it. You basically have unlimited ammo, because every time you get a kill, it refreshes your hollow point ammo. And it also helps your group member. They get 50% of your mag. Since you're running around with an LMG, they get 50% of that ammo, which probably in most cases will be a full mag for their assault rifles or SMGs, or even rifles if they're running rifles. It's like full ammo. So they get that hollow point ammo, they get that amplified damage 20%, so awesome. And it also applies bleed on hit, which again will be a tick damage, so that's an extra damage at the same time. So it is a really good build. Like, it's like a support kind of build, but at the same time does really high damage on itself. Like, it's a very underrated gear set. It's just being in the shadow of Striker, man. That's all I can say. It's a really good set. All right, so for the mask, I have the weapon damage, crit damage, and crit damage mod. For the holster, I have weapon damage, crit damage. For the knee pads, I have weapon damage and crit chance. For the gloves, I have weapon damage and crit damage. So that's my 4-piece of Ongoing Directive. Now let's talk about the high ends here. So the chest piece, I chose a Grupo here with the 15% of crit damage for 1 piece set bonus. We have weapon damage, crit chance, crit damage, and crit chance mod. We have Obliterate talent here. Now you could say, why Obliterate? Why not we use the Grupo, Ongoing Directive chest piece? See, the Ongoing Directive chest piece does give you extra damage, like 15% of amplified damage. But this damage is actually lower in a way from the Grupo. I will show you in the shooting range if you don't believe me. I know there will be some people out there asking question, but yeah, the Grupo is actually higher damage than the Ongoing Directive chest piece. Because Grupo, not only giving Obliterate here, also got an extra crit damage coming out from the attribute, plus that extra 15% crit damage as well. So technically it is higher. I'll show you if you don't believe me. Don't worry about that. So yeah, otherwise, if you don't have a God roll chest piece like this, you can definitely use the Ongoing Directive chest piece. And then you can use Contracted Gloves maybe. Yeah, you could do that. That's actually another variant that I'll talk about in a moment. But let's just talk about the backpack here. So we're using the Sheshka, which gives us 10% crit chance. So we have weapon damage, crit chance, crit damage, and crit damage mod. I have the Vigilance talent because I was playing in a group. When you're playing in a group and you feel like you can keep up the damage, use Vigilance. Otherwise, use Wicked talent. If you feel like you're taking too much damage and you're losing the buff, just go with Wicked. There is no difference between Perfectly Wicked and Wicked, by the way, in terms of damage. Perfectly Wicked gives you more duration, 27 seconds, and Wicked is just 20 seconds. Otherwise, the damage is exactly 18%. There is no difference on that. So definitely use just Wicked talent because it's pretty much a set and forget. All you have to do is apply status effect and you have the damage, which you're doing pretty much all the time. So, it's going to be staying active all the time. So that's why I chose Wicked over Composure, because Composure is only 15% and Wicked is 18, so it's higher. Now let's talk about the other variant. Well, you can actually use the Ongoing Directive chest piece, and then you can swap the gloves to something like the Contracted Gloves here. So this is for people who, doesn't have a Grupo chest piece or a Sheshka chest piece, or something that is like this good, right? The one that I have, it's something like this. If you don't have something like this, you can definitely use the Ongoing chest piece and the Contracted Gloves here, which will serve you really well. But it will be low damage. I'll show you. If you don't believe me, I'll show you in the shooting range. So yeah, it's actually lower damage. And for people who are asking why can't we use Vile Mask, is because we don't have much skill tier. Vile Mask only do more tick damage if you have more skill tier. It won't work on a DPS build. It's going to be an extra damage, 52k-ish per tick, but it's not that high. It's not worth it. Now, so that's basically the group damage variants. Now, let's talk about the solo variants, right? So for the solo, well, I'm going to do is that change the chest piece and then go with the something like a steelwork here. So that gives us extra 10% armor on kill. And obviously, we have the Obliterate talent here. So yeah, that's the only change I'm going to do and go back to the Ongoing Directive Gloves here. So now on this build, we have 20% of armor on kill, which should be a lot for a solo player. And we also have a healing drone, right? So that's healing us like 25 to 30k healing per second. Probably 26k healing per second. It's like armor regen in a way. But yeah, it stays for a longer duration. It just stays there forever, healing you. And then you have the 20%, armor on kill. So that's also nice. Plus, don't forget, with this build, we are putting status effect. So that's extra tick damage, which is applying when you're healing. When you're reloading yourself, it's also applying. Plus, you have the fire to kind of stun lock your NPCs when they fire back at you, And also, LMGs are one of the best weapons, if not the best weapon, when it comes to suppress the target, right? So if someone is shooting at you like crazy, just shoot back at them and they're just going to get suppressed, right? Even if it's a boss NPC. So that's a pretty good feature that LMGs have. So that's pretty much the solo variant. Now, there's another solo variant I will talk about, which again includes the chest piece of Ongoing Directive. You can use the Ongoing Directive chest piece like that, and then use a steelwork piece as a high end. This could be any piece. Like I am using a glove, so it doesn't mean that you have to use it too. It could be a mask, could be a holster, could be a knee pads, could be a backpack as well. So use that. But when solo, remember, when you're solo, definitely use the Wicked talent. Don't go with the Vigilance, all right? Just use the Wicked talent. So that's pretty much the 4 variants, I would say, like 2 variants of each, like solo and group. So use it like that, whether you have the chest piece or not. And let me just show you the damage difference there if you're curious, so you can watch that. All right, so we're here at the shooting range to show you the damage comparison basically between the, Grupo chest piece versus the Ongoing Directive chest piece, and also the solo variant as well. I think I didn't show you my stats there, so let me show you here. So I have 44% crit chance, 164 crit damage. This is pretty good. Honestly, this is really amazing, especially in a group. If somebody's running Coyote, you'll get a really good crit chance and crit damage. You can change to more crit chance if you want. If you're like new player and don't have much SSD watch level or something, you can do that. But yeah, let me just show you how much damage you can do here. I'm going to proc Obliterate first. So just a few shots. It's actually melting the target already. Okay, so let's do that. Okay, so we have Obliterate active right now. Let me reload it. Yeah, so let's see how much damage you're doing. So we're doing 736,000 on body as a crit. Don't forget the tick damage from bleed though. That's 36,000 damage. That actually is 2 tick per second. So technically it's 72,000 more damage. So we're basically doing over 800k damage. And also it will be even higher when the fire applies from your LMG. So that's an extra status effect tick damage. So yeah, you're pretty much 800 to 850k crits on the body with this build, which is not bad for a kind of support build. I would say it's pretty good damage, right? So keep that number in mind. Now let's just swap the chest piece to the ongoing directive here, and then the gloves to something like the contractor. So yeah, that's the other variant that I showed you guys, right? So let's see how much damage it does. We don't have to worry about any stacks. We can just shoot, and you can see we're doing 697,000. Yeah, 697,000 there, which is low damage obviously than the previous loadout. And then obviously the tick damages there is a little higher than the previous one. The previous one was 36k, and this one is 39k. So the bleed tick is definitely a little higher there, but overall the damage is low. But this is for people who, don't have a great chest piece like I have. So if you don't care about that, you can definitely just use something like the ongoing directive chest piece and use it like that. All right. So now I've switched to the solo variant here, basically just changing the chest piece to the steelworks here. So we have the obliterate, all that, and we get that extra 10% armor and kill there. And if I show you my crits on this one, we have 43.5 for 149. You can again change the crit damage to add a bit more crit chance, but I feel this is fine for me, but it might not be fine for you. You can get more crit chance, but I'm fine with this. So yeah, let's just see how much damage you do with the solo variant in a way. We have to build up obliterate again, right? Yeah, let's do that. The reason why I am not using invulnerable here, if you're wondering, because it won't actually proc the hollow point ammo for me, because somehow it doesn't count as a kill. So that's why I have to use the elite target here, right? All right, so if I shoot here, as you can see, 647,000 ticks on the body. The crits. So that's pretty good for a solo player, right? And we also get that armor and kill at the same time. So that's a pretty good one. Now, what happens if as a solo player, you don't have, let's say, a chest piece like this, and you're going to use the ongoing directive? So let's swap to that, and let's just swap to another steelwork here for the gloves. So this is basically the same amount of armor and kill and everything. Just the chest piece doesn't have obliterate anymore, and just the ongoing directive chest piece, right? So with this, obviously the damage will be a little bit lower. So let's see how low it is. I'm pretty sure it's like 40k lower. Yep, it is 40k. See, it's 607,000, and previously it was 647. So basically 40,000 less damage. But with this, what benefits you get? Well, the only benefit is that you don't have to worry about farming a chest piece like this, as something like this or something like this. So that's the only thing here. So for people who can farm that, or like new players, or like your RNG is bad or something like that, and you really want to build, then yeah, you could use something like this. You'll be doing a little less damage, but you don't have to worry about obliterate there, and also you don't have to worry about farming the piece there as well. So yeah, that's pretty much the build here. It's a very underrated build. It's amazing. It works solo, it works in a group. In solo, I'm playing with 5 directives, man. It's just absolutely shredding things out. I'm absolutely loving it. I usually don't play like that in 5 directives, all red build in a way. But yeah, it works great. Just try it out. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Leave a like to the video if you like the build, and subscribe to the channel. That helps me, and I will see you guys in the next one. Till then, peace.